Well, of course they're going to do that, because you know what they do? They put authorization forms in front of the teachers, and they get pressured to sign blanket authorizations. They don't know how much is being deducted, and then they start deducting from the paycheck. And what we're saying is, that's not appropriate to have automatic deductions. If you want to do it, you can write a check and hand it to them. But what that does, that relieves the pressure off the individual teacher or employee. They can make more of an informed decision. They have a better sense of how much money is actually going, and then they can evaluate what is the union actually doing for them. And they're really not doing very much. They use that money for political partisan activities. That's what they use it for. So why would you want to do that? Look how much some of the union leaders, school union leaders make. They make a lot more than the teachers make, not even close on that. So obviously, they see that if there's more informed choice, that they will probably end up getting less dues into their kitty, and they'll have less of a slush fund to use politically. So I get why they would do it. But I would just remind people, when the going really got tough during COVID, and we had to make decisions in Florida about, are we going to follow the crowd and deny our kids an education, or are we going to make sure those schools were open so that kids could be in school 5 days a week, and so parents knew that they had the option to send their kid to in-person education? This is like June of 2020, a long time ago. And did the school union in Florida say, you know what, we're with you, we're standing for the kids, we're going to make sure that we're up and running, and we're going to be there for the people that need us? No, they didn't do that. What did they do? They sued me to try to close the schools. They didn't want the kids in school at all. And that was a political decision. That was based on partisan politics. It was not based on the best interests of school children. And you look around the country who didn't have the type of determined outlook on this that we did in Florida. We had kids locked out of in-person education for over a year. And some of the places, usually the poor kids, you'd have people from like the Chicago Teachers Union saying, we cannot have kids in school, too dangerous. And then the union member would be found in the Bahamas partying on Instagram. You'd see these pictures, and you're like, man, how could you live with yourself knowing those kids are toiling without getting access to education? So I think that it was clearly it's going to be good for teachers, because if this is something that matters to them, they can do it. It's not saying you can't, but it provides, I think, more protection for their paychecks and ultimately more take-home pay. We're raising the pay anyways with a big $1.05 billion teacher categorical, but then on top of that, you get even more.